Hi everybody, my name is Kevin and they call me the penny artist. I'm also called the pigman. I'm called a variety of other things, sometimes good, sometimes bad. But a friend of mine told me I needed to start posting what I'm teaching on YouTube. She said actually I could probably, not have to have people in classes anymore, but basically do it this way. And for me, I really like the interaction between the students, but I also know, like everybody else, that when you can't get to all those students, sometimes this is the best format. And I've been doing videos like this for the past, 5 years. So I do have quite a few videos on process, quite a few videos on marketing, quite a few videos on pretty much anything to do art, and that's pretty much what I do. So what you're seeing me do here is I'm just basically building up another value on my color, and I'm going in and all I'm trying to do is just give this another set of values before I start laying in any other colors. And I consider this a warm color. Okay, and my theory on color, and you may have your own, but my theory on color is anything with red in it brings things forward. Anything with blue in it drops things back. And so you're able to distinguish as you're working, things that are closer and further away by the color. Now, that's a pretty basic, simple, kind of rule. The other thing I do, if you really want to know, is that textures. Anything with a heavy texture, bring things forward. Anything without texture, drop things back. So if you was dropping back a sky, if I'm dropping back a background here and I make it really complicated where I'm doing this, but I'm doing this on the background, that's going to be noticeable. It's also going to fight with anything I do here, because I can do this like that. And now, because I got the same kind of texture here, it fights with this texture back here. But if I come in and I say, you know what? No. I take it out, then all of a sudden, now it doesn't fight with this. This automatically comes forward, and that whole area drops back. So that's kind of an easy way of understanding how values work and textures. The more textures you have, the closer something seems. The less textures you have, the further things drop back. So how do you determine textures? How do you determine values? Now this right here, basically, it's pretty uncomplicated what I'm doing. I've been painting this technique for about 20 years now. I've been selling I have work all over the world. I've got pigs everywhere, And you can kind of see some different things happening by doing that. You can even see how the cow actually came forward a little bit, okay? Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be, I'll get that out of there. I'm not so worried about anything else more so. I'm just going to drop this back here. I'm going to come in here, drop that right there. I'm going to come here. I want to warm that up a little bit. This comes down. So you can see I'm not getting so particular that I'm losing my whites, because I do believe white has a very much an important place, because it helps light reflect. It also puts anything on it. If you glaze over your sketch, it has a tendency of giving you a base that can be a light reflection behind. Because inherently, black is the only color that is inherent with all colors mixed. White is the absence of color. So in the process of doing that, you have to make sure that you can use this. Now most people, they'll tone a surface before they start. But to me, they kill the ability for light to react. They kill the ability to go deeper into it and bring it further out. So by doing this, if I tone my entire paper like this, this is the lightest that will ever go unless I add white to it. So if I work with the white in the background, I don't have to. It's already done for me. Okay, so now I've done my quinacridone. And like I said, you can only get this through Golden. It is the only color they make like this. You're not going to find this in any other brand. Okay? So just keep that in mind. Now, I'm going to end this after about 5 minutes. You tell me how long you would like the videos to be or the lessons to be, and I will make those happen. Like I said, I've been doing this a very long time. And what we're going to do now is I'm going to take a phthalo green, and I'll put it on here. I'm going to use the same brush, okay? Now, I don't want this so dark that it's opaque. I want it to be a translucent. And so I'm going to take it, and notice, no palette. If I'm going to pull it, I'm actually going to control the amount of color on my hand, okay? So you can kind of see, you know, it's kind of translucent right there. It's not opaque, which is exactly what I want. So I'm going to come in areas that physically drop things back, and I want to cause some tension, okay? And tension is going to draw attention to it, but it's also going to push it back once we get other colors over top. So we got areas here. Okay, we have areas there. We got here. The mouth basically here. And I'm going to put here, I'm going to put it here. Because all these areas drop things back. Now you're seeing this as a tension, as a movement. Okay, I can come here. Now notice that I don't want to hide my lines. I also don't want to degrade the image by opaquing it, because I got a lot more work on it to go on this. Okay, now not even going to use the paint. I'm just going to use what's here. And you can see by me doing that, I'm able to pull a lot of color out. Okay, now I've got behind the neck here. Okay, I got here in the nose. And notice again, I'm going to come here. I'm going to come here. I want to make sure that eye kind of stands out a little bit, so I'm not going to put any green in it, but look at where I'm putting it. I'm putting it here. It just comes forward, but this is going to come a little forward. Now also, you want to unify the colors when you're working with this. Okay, so we're going to come here. Any area that moves back, I'm going to put it on. Okay, the cheek moves back. And even though this is going to be a lighter color or a warmer color, because it does come forward, I'm still going to put this green on here because it's going to cause attention and cause movement underneath everything else. In other words, folks, this is how you build up an underpainting. The underpainting shouldn't be pretty. The underpainting should be work. It should be fast, uncomplicated, and it should also say something. You know, by putting this tension, it depends on how aggressive you are toward it. That's sort of what it's going to mean. Also, you want to make sure that your brush typically has enough paint on it. Now, see this right here. Watch that run. Okay, we're gonna make that run work for us. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm going to come up here, I think, and do that. Okay. Now, I got some really kind of cool tension happening here, and I can even control that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my paper towels. I'm going to dab it. I'm going to dab it on there. I don't want it moving too much. I'm going to kind of control where I see things. Where not, I'll probably leave that. Now, one thing that's going to happen is you're going to get some texture from the paper towels, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It just, all this means is just some of this, you know, I can play with that a little bit. Some of this is going to have more value, not now, but more value as we lay color over top. So this is just the next stage in this painting. I'm going to call her Cow Patty or whatever. But folks, if you want to continue to work with you or continue to watch my videos, like I said, you do have them on my Facebook page under Kevin Bowers. .com or Kevin Bowers on there. Look me up. Just look artist. The Pigman. Look up the Pigman. That's me. Anyway, I will walk you through these processes. And even this, you can kind of see how this area now is blocked in. Well, that whole face comes forward. And if you also notice my reference where it's at, it will always be in the same place. I never move around my reference because that takes too much time to try to find it. And then you typically forget where you're at. So anyway, guys, this has gone on for about 10 minutes. This is my intro. My name's Kevin. I've been an instructor for about 30 years, well, 20 years. I've been a professional artist for 45. I have shown work all over the world. I have works in some museums. I got work in the St. Petersburg, the Russian consulate in St. Petersburg. I mean, the U.S. consulate in St. Petersburg, Russia, two big church pictures, two big church pictures. I have work pretty much, across the nation. I'm more known for my pigs, which if you see in my Facebook page, I will also leave a connection to my website so you can see them. And you can always get a hold of me here at the studio, and you can always call me at 208-699-9805. But this is my starting process, and what I typically do on formal pieces. Now this is going to be a sketch. Sketches, I don't glaze between layers. Now if this was a formal piece, I would stop here, glaze over top of it to protect those two layers, and then I would paint some more. And then I do a couple more colors, glaze. Because every time you glaze, you're causing a little bit of a light barrier in there, and the light goes back and reflects forward, so you get this glow to your work. Now, for all you acrylic painters out there who are not glazing, I want you to try something for me. I want you to try painting one picture the way you normally do, and on the other picture, at different stages where you normally would stop and inspect, I want you to glaze between that. There's various glazes you can use. The one I like using is from Nova Color. It's a Nova 233 or Novaplex 233. It's a glazing medium. Same as Golden's Polymer Medium Gloss. Now, if you've never done it before, it's going to feel like you're varnishing. Just don't worry about it. It will self-level out. It does a pretty good job of that. Don't put it on too thick. Just put it on in very thin layers unless you want it a little thicker, and then you work it. Do not try to blow dry it. Try to heat it. It will crack on you like anything else. But you will see a difference between how this piece looks and how this piece looks almost like night and day. So anyway, guys, this is Kevin with the Penny Artist. I hope to have many more views of you looking at my work. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Like I said, this is just one step in the process of many steps of my working process. And I will always give you hints and tips and everything else. I'm always looking for comments and suggestions. I do talk about the business of fine art and the general business of art, so you can make a living. If you have questions on that, I will be available. Like I said, you can always get a hold of me on Facebook under the message window. I'm going to start paying more attention to YouTube, and I'm also going to start paying more attention to my phone. So if you happen to call 208-699-9805, that is actually my studio number. I will always answer. I never not pick up. And please don't pretend to be Bob from Wichita when you're Ahmed from India selling something off of the Canadian pharmacy. So guys, thank you so much for viewing. Everybody, as always, I hope this has been inspirational and informational. You guys have a great day. Everybody have a blessed day. And as always, I want everybody to paint. So thank you so much for viewing. Hopefully you get to see more of me. It's up to you guys. Okay, bye.